Looks like Barcelona have found another hidden gem. Who is Mikayil Faye and why the signing of this Senegalese talent is a huge dub? You will learn right now. Dear friends, if you like videos about future football monsters, please support this release with a like and subscribe to Inside Football. We welcome everyone. And now to the video. In the financial crisis that Barcelona is facing, management has to be creative and make risky decisions. Laporta and co. understand that in this business, you have to be able to get away from any situation. Otherwise, you will end up in the dustbin of history. Financially, Barca cannot compete with European top clubs for the biggest football star signatures. At the same time, the Blaugrana want to remain their place among the football elite. Since the money issues won't disappear in the at least next 10 years, they had to come up with something. And the solution was to change the transfer strategy, which carries greater risks, but, if successful, brings phenomenal results. The Catalans have now shifted their focus to signing cheap, unknown players and developing them into stars. If they are hits, such players not only help the club in terms of performance, but also remain loyal to the brand. After all, they will always remember who showed them the way to world football. Barcelona hasn't really come up with something new. The club has always tried to find young prospects, but now they have thrown almost all their energy into it. Why is that? Because it works very well for the Catalans. Just look at Araujo and Pedri. Let's just recall that the Spaniard was bought from Las Palmas for 17.5 million euros. And now he's a player with a price tag of 100 million, according to Transfermarkt. Obviously, the Catalans will not sell him for less than 150 million. Ronald Araujo was bought by the Blaugrana for 4.7 million euros. Now the Uruguayan is one of the best centre-backs in the world. One of the latest examples of such transfers is Lucas Roman, a 19-year-old Argentinian winger who was immediately labeled the next Messi. Jokes aside, the guy is really talented and can break out next season. Meanwhile, he was bought for just 1.2 million euros. Transfers not only to the first team but also to La Masia are also worth mentioning. The academy scouts' work is phenomenal. In case you didn't know, Ansu Fati and XAVI are players who were once lured by La Masia from the Sevilla and Betis academies respectively. So, the hero of today's video, Mikayil Faye, is the latest product of the club's new strategy. And given Barca's brilliant hits in the past, these guys want to watch very closely. Let's get to know him better. Mikayil Faye is an 18-year-old Senegalese centre-back. He is left-footed and can play as a left-back if needed. This, by the way, only adds to his value because left-footed centre-backs are sought after and highly valued in modern football. For XAVI and his combinational football, it's even more important. You will never believe where Barcelona found this guy. Faye was bought from Croatian second division club NK Kustošija Zagreb. Wow, what a scouting network! If this guy makes it, the scouts can have a statue in front of Camp Nou. According to Fabrizio Romano, the transfer fee is 5 million euros. The deal was signed until 2027, with a release clause worth 400 million euros. This, by the way, is a sign that the club is serious about the player. Otherwise, they would have put in a release clause of 50 million or less. A simple gesture that has an important symbolic meaning. I'm very happy because I've just fulfilled my childhood dream. I've always dreamed of playing for FC Barcelona. I have pictures of Barca in my room. Everything was FC Barcelona in my room. Faye couldn't hold his joy after signing the contract. Given these words, it's not difficult to understand why the Blaugrana won the competition from Mikayil. Chelsea and Borussia Dortmund also had a fairly strong interest in him. This was reported by Fabrizio Romano. You have to admit, it can be difficult for a young player to turn down Borussia. After all, Dortmund is known for its incredible trust in young players and talent development. In addition, a footballer always knows that he will be allowed to go to a top club if a suitable offer comes in. But here he is, Faye smiling and posing in a Barcelona shirt. Faye will start the initial part of the preseason with Barca's first team, as XAVI wants to monitor him closely. And this is another piece of insider information from Romano. Yes, XAVI wants to get Faye involved with the first team right away. And if the Senegalese can prove himself, he has every chance of starting the season not in Barca B. Therefore, it makes sense to find out what Mikayil can do on the pitch right now. The first thing worth mentioning is his confidence with the ball. The Senegalese has excellent dribbling as for centre-back and is not afraid to play with the ball under pressure. Great news for XAVI. In addition to the ability to handle pressure, this skill allows Faye to progress the ball well through dribbling. In situations when the opponent is defending tightly, such skills of centre-back are extremely handy. His second strength is his determination and fearlessness. The way Faye goes into duels is a bit frightening. Mikayil has no fear at all and enters duels very fiercely and relentlessly. My role model? Mascherano. Mikayil says and makes all questions disappear. But in terms of size and other skills, Faye has every chance of surpassing the legendary Argentine. On top of the aforementioned advantages, we add an incredible passing range. The Senegalese, like his idol, can play as a defensive midfielder. However, in modern football, he is more suited to the role of a so-called false CDM, something like what John Stones did for Man City last season. Again, a great option for XAVI. Play defensive left back or left centre back in a back three? No problem for Faye either. I've never seen such maturity in a player of his age. In fact, I've never seen a greater talent. Samir Telpak, the coach of Mikayil's former club Custodia, said, "At 186 meters tall, Faye has an incredible pace. Just watch him destroy opponents at medium and long distances. There are no problems with agility and coordination either. To feel confident in 1-versus-1 situations. It's difficult for opponents to beat Mikayil with body fints or step-overs. So usually, it all ends with the Senegalese taking the ball away from the opponent." Faye's ability to maintain concentration throughout the match is also remarkable. This is a valuable quality for young defenders, and in fact, it's almost the main thing a player needs to get a chance at a high level. Speaking of some weaknesses, first of all, we should mention his mediocre ability to read the game and predict different outcomes of situations. Often, Faye fails to assess the episode and is forced to react on the spot. That is, instead of being able to predict the scene and intercept the ball, he allows a pass to the opponent. His speed and other skills usually allow him to catch up with his opponent and win the episode. Nevertheless, you will agree that sometimes it's useful to save your energy by playing smart, although in this regard, there is no need to worry about the guy. Barcelona is probably the best place in the world to learn how to use your brain on the football pitch. Also, Mikayil did not excel at the opponent's goal. Last season, he scored 1 goal and assisted once for the club. Of course, goal contributions are not the main objective for a defender. But if he becomes a threat in the opponent's penalty area, it will add to his value. Of course, everything you've seen here works at the Croatian 2nd division level and the Senegalese youth team. La Liga and the Champions League are a completely different story. And here, everything will depend on Mikayil's skills and mental strength. There is no doubt that Faye's potential is beyond belief. You don't just pay 5 million for an 18-year-old from the Croatian football mire. Friends, write in the comments whether you believe that Faye will break out in Barcelona and become the new Araujo for the Catalans. Would you like XAVI to give the youngster a chance next season? Thank you for watching. Inside Football has been with you. We watch football from a different angle. Finally, we invite you to watch other videos from our channel. See you in a bit.